Good morning, good afternoon to everybody. I'd like to just take you through a real life example of the build of this cake and then just demonstrate some of the I'd like to just take you through a real life example of the build of this cake and then just demonstrate some of the new features. Good morning, good afternoon to everybody. Thank you very much for joining us here today. We're quite excited about some of the new features that we've got available here at Magnitude. And I'd just like to take a quick minute of your guys' time to demonstrate some of them. You'll see that I posted 2 videos early on, and I hope everybody had a chance to look at them. But if not, I'm going to be taking you through how the Cake app works and demonstrating some of the new features that we've got available. I'd like to just take you through a real life example of the build of this cake and then just demonstrate some of the new features while I do so. So let's just take that some client has phoned in, and on the left hand side here you'll see that this is somebody's cell phone. So this will be the person acting as the manager, Keegan Cake in this case, and the person on the right hand side here, which is the web app, will be Robert Cake. So this is the person responsible for logging all the new cake requests, and the person on the left hand side is the manager just overseeing everything, making sure that it's okay. So a client by the name of Scott has just phoned in requesting a cake. So you'll see that the very first thing that we notice here, other than the brand new UI interface, is the bit of a darker theme and a change to the overall user interface experience when using the app. You'll notice that it's very similar from the cell phone on the left to the website on the right hand side. So what I need to do now is I need to actually capture the details of Scott's cake. You'll see that there's no longer 3 little dots where you would click and then hit capture. You now have the ability to just click on the actual icon itself to take you to the module page. You'll notice that one of the biggest things that we've got changed is this graph system. This is an overall usage statistic on this particular activity itself, specifically referring to out versus in. So next thing now, I'd build a cake. Select which branch Scott's at. So he happens to reside in the Sandton area, and I know that he's an existing client with us, so I can just go and find him here. Select Scott. Perfect. And you'll see that I can then begin to fill this out. When do you need this cake by? Next week, let's say next week Friday. You'd like a medium cake, feeding 5 people. Got a budget of R1,000. The cake type that he wants, he likes vanilla. Okay, nothing, no specific design. Icing, let's say vanilla as well. Flavors, let's say blue velvet. Fillings, cream and buttercream. And you'll see what this is here. We've nicely initiated it. This is for internal use only. This means that the client's not going to see any of this information. So we'll say it's quite an easy cake to make. and we've got enough time. So after this, I now hit submit, and you'll see two things will happen. So Scott, as the manager, now receives there. Scott has ordered a Blue Velvet vanilla cake. I can now click on this and view the full details of this order from Scott. If I'd like to, I can click those three little dots on the right hand side there and now flag this form. That's one of our other new features that we've got, is we've got the ability to flag forms as well as flagging chats. And the benefit of this is that obviously that you can come back and you can keep up to date with what's important and what might not be as vital. And you'll see by going to my feedback list, I now have at the very top one, you'll see there's a little flag underneath those three little dots versus the one below it that doesn't have a flag. And you'll see there's another one there indicating that this one has been flagged for attention. What I can then also do is if I go down to my filter options and I select form and scroll down to flagged forms, highlight flag and hit apply, it'll now pull up, following those specific date parameters and anything that I've set, it'll now show me all the flagged forms in that case, and I can then manage them thereafter. If I just click on those three little dots and hit unflag, it'll then unflag that form, and you'll see it'll disappear because my filter option is for flags only. Okay, perfect. What I'm going to be doing now is using this phone on the left hand side here to just log out of the manager view and act as the client in this case on his cell phone, receiving either the SMS or the email for them to confirm that their cake is correct. So you'll see that I've got a message there that says, "Cake, thanks for building a cake with us. Please click the link below to make sure that we've got this right." The client will then click the link, be presented with a web page. Cool, with all the details of that particular cake. So once the client scrolls through this, they can double check everything, but I've noticed there that the client asked for red velvet and the salesman has selected blue velvet. So I'd just like to correct that guy and make sure that I get my order right. So no, it's not right. What did we miss? So I'm just going to say wrong order, ordered red, not blue velvet. Ordered red velvet, maybe just say I ordered red velvet. Cool. No, there weren't any issues ordering other than this mistake, but that can be rectified now. And I would recommend, yeah, very likely to recommend. Okay, perfect. And then once that's done, I can hit submit. Perfect. And if I click here, I can get taken back to their website. Perfect. And you'll see now that I've got one new notification on my web app. By clicking that, I can now see that Scott McGregor for the Sandton branch has provided feedback, but their order was no, it was incorrect. There's something wrong. So because there's something wrong, I'm going to flag that by just clicking this little button here. And this is just a demonstration on how you can flag individual chats versus flagging an entire form. So I'm going to flag that one. I'm going to go into it, and I'd like to see what we got wrong here. So Scott has said that the order's wrong, that he actually ordered red velvet and we captured blue. So no problem there. What I want to make sure then is that they're aware of this. So John, who's the person, the chef responsible for making the cakes, please note the change from blue to red velvet. Okay, I'm going to send that chat to John. Then after that, I'd also like to engage with Scott just to make sure that he's aware that we have received his change. So you'll see that by selecting, instead of selecting a John, I can now select a Scott with his email address and his cell phone number. So not the blue velvet. Okay, perfect. I'm going to now send that through. And what that'll do is it'll now send an email and an SMS through to Scott, who's the client in this case, just confirming that we have noticed their change. Just wait for that to come in. And you'll see there at the top, I now have a new SMS from the cake shop. If I click on it, cake, new communication. Hi Scott, thank you for providing your feedback. We have noted your order change and have alerted our chefs to the red velvet and not the blue velvet. To respond, click the link. So I can just click the link there. And you'll see what that'll do is it'll open up a communication path between myself and the person at the cakes. So you'll remember here I'm logged in as Robert, and I can now see the chat as Scott on my cell phone and can respond accordingly. So I'm just going to do that quickly. Hi Robert. Thank you for letting me know about the change. Perfect. And if I just send that off, you'll see on Scott's side, he's got a little thing over here. And the new notification will come up at the top here then. Perfect. You'll see that I got a new little notification here. If I click my notification bells, I can now see from Scott, hi Robert, thank you for letting me know. So perfect. I know that Scott has received this and he's happy to go ahead with it there. So it's now reached the 1st of March and Scott's cake has been delivered to his house. Along with that cake, what we do is we attach a QR code allowing them to rate the cake. So you'll see on the left-hand side here now, Scott's going to now scan the QR code. Perfect, presenting him with a link. You can then click that link. Please note that all this is done without an app available to Scott. He can then fill out the details here. His email address, and now can start rating. Okay, moist or dry. Perfect. Okay, cool. And then what Scott can do is he can then hit submit, allowing that rating, and you'll see on the right hand side that rating then comes in as a new cake rating. I can click my notifications and view that Scott McGregor has rated us a nice 91%. So we obviously did really well with him. I can then click on this and view anything necessary here, everything that he had. You can click back to the home button after this. The cake has been delivered and the feedback from Scott has come back positive. What I can do now as Keegan on the left hand side here, the manager responsible for this, is I can now click on the unresolved right there, the 15 unresolved, get presented with Scott's order and know that everything was fine with it, and by clicking those two little ticks at the top right, I can now resolve this form, making it green. If I pull down refresh, that form is now gone from my to-do list. I can now pull that back by hitting at the very bottom. If I just click that 14 unresolved and click form, change the status to all, hit apply, and it'll now appear back here at the top as a resolved form. That concludes our new features demonstration. Thank you very much everybody for joining us for this. We're really quite excited about this, specifically the new UI as well as this new chat function. We think that it's going to add a lot of value to some of our existing clients and as well as any of our clients going forward. Cool. Thanks very much everybody, and have a great rest of your day.